And back into round three.
Back to
I'm
it.
in both camps.
He's
I
an
like him.
anomaly.
Yeah.
Like
I
we're
like him in
back
the
with
AES.
Decaying with the Boys. This is Dem Bones taking over.
Welcome back to the Jojitorium.
Well, I think remember too. Whenever we found the German Scheiser corn.
Let's not lie to each other. You're in twerk classes over there. That's what
Yeah. That's all it is.
The fitness class.
Working on them TikTok videos you like so much.
Dead face. Got right in front of you. Welcome back to the Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. We're Decaying with the Boys, and we are leaving AEW and joining ECW. So we have merch, we got shirts, we got mugs, we got hoodies, we even got clocks. So we teamed up with Redbubble to bring you the best gear from the depths of the Jojitorium. Our link is in the summary of this episode if you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on your favorite podcast platform. And right now, if you send us a confirmation of your order, we will send you some extra free gear to go alongside those new threads. We can't have the show without your support, so thank you for letting everyone know that the boys sent you. I'm happy to say we have another guest.
What's up?
This is wonderful. We have John from Dem Bones Brewing.
What up, guys? How's it going?
I'm so happy to have you here, man.
I'm happy to be here. I've been excited, for a long time to get on this.
Absolutely, man. And it's great. Taylor from Abjuration linked us up, and so thank you to Taylor for that. And it's cool to have you here, man, because we've been like following your IG for a while, and you do some incredible stuff. Honestly, it was blowing my mind. We were talking off mic about the label system and everything. We're going to get into all that. But before we start to get into anything, just if you could let everyone know where can they find you, like what your socials, you have a website. So let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me on both Instagram and Facebook at just Dem Bones Brewing. And then you can check out my website for merch at dembonesbrewing.com. Some Dem Bones merch, some homebrew, funny t-shirts, stuff like that. Try and update some t-shirts that everybody likes and not just have to buy Dem Bones Brewing stuff. So some glasses too. I got some good glasses on there. So
cool, man. Yeah. I'm gonna buy the Beer Dad shirt. I'm definitely getting one of those. That's my lane.
My wife was like, "You have to do those. Beer Dad, Beer Mom, Beer Kids." Like,
I love it, man, and that's my lane. I'm a beer dad through and through.
Same. Proud of it.
So you are a prolific home brewer. You make some of the best beers in the burg, and I understand you brought us a couple beers here. So, hey, man, take it away. It's round one. You brought some beers, put them together. Call it round one beers. What are we drinking?
All right, man. So I've been doing a split batch series, Hazy IPA, for I think this is the 5th and 6th editions of this. So I've been using the same grains and basically the same hops up until the dry hop. So these two beers, this is the first one. Nice little Squid Games label on these guys. This is Centennial Chinook and then Lupo Max Citra. So this is focused on Lupo Max Citra.
Okay.
So first time for me brewing with Lupo Max. I only did about 50% of the regular hops, and I think you can go up a little bit. It's not fully Citra, but it's still good, really good. So I'm excited for you guys to crack into these and gotta do what Taylor did.
Right on the mic.
Get paid in sound effects. Hey, we have a fan.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing.
He already knows.
When we got fans on the podcast.
Yeah, I had to bring 2 beers so we could all get a nice pour out of these too.
This is wonderful, man. Thank you so much.
If you want to just start yours.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And again, if you guys want to find out what's going on with Dem Bones Brewing, you just search them out. Dem Bones Brewing on Facebook, Instagram. What else? And
The website.
the website.
For the most part, Instagram is where I post everything.
Yeah.
Facebook is tagged on all my Instagram posts, so it'll get like the secondary, everything that Instagram allows Facebook to duplicate. But Instagram's my main source of material.
Cool, man. Yeah. And you aside from posting like the brewery stuff, you also post some funny stuff too. So your content is it cracks me up.
I try to, man. I love laughing, like, and it's all about just having fun.
Yeah.
So like, there's so many like real videos, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can relate so much to this in in brewing. So I goof around. Everybody says I'm stupid, but
Hey, man, but you're having a blast, and that's
Yeah.
what really matters, you know? And I can tell you right now, your fun translates through this beer. This is a fun beer.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, man. The dankiness is right on point. I get the nice sweetness on there, too.
The body of it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's pillowy. It's
So this-
it's like your tongue's in a cloud.
Yeah.
That is,
It's-
it's the best way. It's how I like my New Englands and my hazies.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you.
It's the grist build. Definitely don't change it.
Yeah.
Just keep playing with the hops. I think that's the perfect idea.
It's so
this
good.
line's cool too because you really get to see what this hop brings. Like the next beer is Galaxy.
Yeah.
Now, Citra is a small part of the dry hop that I did in all of these beers. You only have one main hop in that because it's all Citra. But the Galaxy has a small charge of Citra in it too. But you can really taste the difference. And like, I don't even know if the Galaxy was like a great like lot. But like you get some fruitiness, but you kind of get like the earthy tones that
I do get like the newer Galaxy crop. I do get a lot of earthiness.
Yeah.
So
it,
it's a different hop than it was.
it
2
doesn't
years ago.
ruin it,
Right,
but-
it's just not what you expect.
yeah, it's not as fruity and like punch you in the face like
Yeah. No, it's just like it rolls. It's even. Great color. Great body.
This was actually the first time that I did water chemistry too. So I take
That's a common theme we're hearing.
the same way.
Yeah.
The hazy I have one right now is the first one I did.
Yeah.
it's
Like a full blown water.
a
chemistry.
process where you want to dive in with so much things. We got all this nice equipment. I want to learn how to do that. And
Yeah.
I knew that water, like chemistry and building a water profile, was going to take a while for me to fully understand.
Right.
And I just bought the Brewfather recipe maker. I upgraded from like Brewer's Friend, which I just did it because I could do it on my phone. And then, I'm like, no, I got to get into
Like it's right at your
something-
fingertips and you can update it.
Oh man, I love it. I bought a MacBook just so I could
Nice.
get a brew software on the MacBook. So
Cool, man.
I love it. This is the first beer because I installed an RO system, and I think it turned out pretty good. Yeah.
Very nice.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. This
Yeah,
turned
I
out
was-
great.
I was watching the pH on mine through the later part of last year,
Mm-hmm.
and then this year I went full blown.
Mm-hmm.
From that hazy, I got a red ale in there now with full water chemistry. But I use the same app, and it's nice because you can use it on your MacBook. But if you have to update something real quick, you can do it on the selfie
Yeah,
app,
if
and
you're
it'll
out-
update it across the cloud. All
Oh,
the
that's
cloud.
cool.
Yeah, so it's a great.
So
piece
it's
of-
kind of you can central hub it to everything else. That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
it just links up. So like, if I'm at work on lunch and I'm just sitting there, I'm like,
You
"All
get
right,
an idea.
let me start playing with a recipe
Yeah.
for the next brew. And then like Adam said, it links so when you flip over your computer, that batch, that recipe is sitting in there.
That's so cool, man. So then, like, yeah, you can kind of just like ideas on the go.
Exactly. That's what
really
I like
awesome.
about it. The MacBook layout is super simple too. You can type in all of your like my system.
Yeah.
It's all pieced together. But I've kind of learned like, I need this much water for the sparge. Well, I started typing in all those volumes and it remembers it and then it updates everything else. How much volume you need for the sparge. It's awesome. It's just like, why didn't I do this like years ago?
It's that constant progression and finding new things out. And we're gonna get to know more about how that worked out. But I have to remind you, you are sitting in the Battle Dome. You are facing off against other guests. The highest rated guest this year wins the Jojitorium Award for Best Guest during our New Year's Eve bash. I don't know.
It'll be the end of the year awards.
We'll figure it out.
Year end awards.
Yeah, year-end awards. And you have some stiff competition right now, but I'm pretty confident that you're going to bring some heat.
Oh man, I'm blasting this on social media. Blasting it to the moon.
Wonderful.
Everywhere.
They're gonna be our
Stories,
annual-
reels. I'll be on this multiple times just to get views up.
There you go. Yeah, it's going to be our year end awards. I think we're going to call them the Maddies.
Hey, man, I'm okay with that. I like that. Finally get some recognition up in here.
Are we just going to send them the random wrestlers that we like to?
Yeah.
Like, our best wrestler of the year
we
is
really like to.
Kenny Omega, and just randomly send one to Winnipeg and see if he gets it.
Britt Baker's like, who sends me stickers? What is this? It's
I'll just take it over to her
a
dental
puppy.
office.
down in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam got on a charter jet and got down to Florida to deliver a sticker.
Nah, I'll drive it.
So we talked about homebrewing. So you're as professional as homebrewing gets. So where you are now, huge. You took a lot of years to build that up. But when you got started, what got you rolling into homebrew?
It's a funny story. So I always loved beer, and I had a single kegerator, and filling it up, I'm like, I need more draft beer on tap. So I found a bar back kegerator that had, 2 tap towers, and it was huge. I mean, almost 7 foot or 6 foot long. Got that, fixed it all up so it could have 6 beers on tap. And this was a while ago. It was football playoffs. Me and my buddy, we bought 3 kegs. It was like $300 and some to fill, and we drank half of it in like the 2 days of football playoffs. And I was like, I gotta figure out a way to get this cheaper. And then my brother and I were like, let's go buy a homebrew kit. I wonder if I could fill this with homebrew. So that's what we did. It started with just good old South Hills Brewing, one of their home kits, some buckets over the stove. We did 2. It was a Mosaic IPA and oatmeal stout that we did in the same weekend, and it just skyrocketed from there, man. It went from like already trying to create my own recipes that turned out terrible to building then a little like electric system, which I quickly realized that like 2 gallons of beer was not enough for me. So, but my goal was at that time, I wanted to have a 5-gallon keg to fit in the kegerator that was good beer that I could brew 5 gallons on. So that was the goal: is brew a beer that's good enough that could go in 5 gallons. Yeah. And then once I got to the level of like having a couple beers that were good enough, I just started seeing like all this cool equipment, and I'm like, I love this so much. Yeah. I gotta go for all the good equipment.
Right. And your Instagram shows a ton of equipment, and of course the expansion is huge. What was the first major piece that you added on to start working towards like a different style or more capacity? What was the first thing you're like, I have to have that?
I had a custom spike kettle made. So originally I started with 1 kettle and basically made the solo system before they had the solo system. So I had a port welded up high for recirculation. I bought a basket, like a grain basket, stainless steel. And then I had a Whirlpool port, a port down below, temperature sensor, and then a tri-clamp heating element. Yeah. So I built, I'm an electrician by trade. Okay. So I took a lot of motor controls class, and I'm like, I can build one of these controllers.
That's awesome.
So I did. Yeah. Bought all the stuff, and I built it only for 1 kettle, and slowly started to brew on that a few times, and I'm like, it's not enough beer. Like, it was only a 15-gallon kettle, and then I ended up buying a SS Brewtech Unitank, one of the 14 gallons. Okay. Those were the first 2 big pieces of equipment, and then it just spiraled real hard out of that.
So what size are you brewing now?
Yeah.
So I upgraded to a 20-gallon spike mash tun, and then I have a 20-gallon SS Brewtech e-kettle. Okay. So I can do it's pretty much around 18 gallons at a time.
Very nice.
So I have the 1 barrel, but I have to brew twice to fill it, which was that was a whole nother story. I drove to Brooklyn, New York, and won an eBay bid. Yeah. And I got that thing for $1,500.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
so
a deal. That's
it was.
a deal.
I wanted to upgrade to a half barrel.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll sell one of my Unitanks. And then my wife and I drove out and we picked it up, and it was just because it was a jacketed fermenter, you could do half batches. I'm like, that's great. I have the versatility to do half barrel or full 1 barrel. Yeah.
Awesome, man. So out of all the equipment that you use to expand, and you're finding higher production, your quality's going up, and you're finding different methods to make some brews that you really wanted to, get your mind wrapped around, is there a piece of equipment that you use now that you were like, man, it's almost like, this is my baby. I had it at first, and I want to just bring it with me. Is there something that still stays around?
Not really. I mean, if there was one piece of equipment that I built and can't get rid of just because, like, my mind's like, I can't spend the money to upgrade that, it would be my control panel. So, like, I probably built it for, like, $500. Okay. And now I've equipped it to have, be able to switch between 2 kettles.
Mm-hmm.
It can't control them both at the same or heat them at the same time, but a toggle switch for them. I can't get myself to buy like a professional one, like an SS Brewtech one.
Yeah.
It's just like I built this, got it for so cheap. I could upgrade somewhere else, before I upgrade that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get too attached to any piece of equipment
Yeah,
in the homebrew game.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna ask, like, so you're definitely, and working with you as much as I do, I see how pieces of equipment, like, hey man, you're talking about high temperatures, you're talking about big demand on liquid transfers and everything. So some things have to start breaking down, and eventually you have to look at something and say, "Sorry, old Yeller, it's time."
You just outgrow it. That's most of what I've gotten rid of.
Yeah.
You outgrow it. But I still have like 3 boil kettles over there. I just got to put them online and sell them. Like, I'm never going back. If I have to go back, I'll just brew a half batch in what I got.
Right.
Yeah, once you get the new equipment, you're not going back. It's like you forget how to brew on the old equipment in a way, because it's like different
Stovetop
numbers.
will be hard now.
Oh my god, I could never keep my temperature
Right.
set to begin with, and now it's like a click of a button, and it's like set exactly where I need it for every process. The fermenting, like boiling, mash. I have a rim system, so the mash stays
Nice.
set. Just like I can't go back to that.
Right.
No.
That's awesome, man. So, in the midst of homebrewing, and we know this, it's not an exact science as much as we want it to be an exact science. But, of course, with tinkering and working through things, you find some pretty big successes. So, can you kind of point to one of your beers or even like a method you implement, or like, this is the biggest success I have as a brewer?
Right now, it would be my flow meter that I use.
Yeah.
So the instructions that SS Brewtech gives you for like carbing your beer inside one of their unitanks, I tried that method. Not only was I getting beer back in the CO2 line, but it was always coming out flat.
Yeah.
And I tried messing with it. It wasn't really working. So I looked up online and was trying to find videos of how these pro brewers, carb their beers. And somebody mentioned a flow meter. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. So you can actually create a formula to figure out how long and at what it's liters per minute on your flow meter that you dial in on how long it takes to actually carb your beer. So I was watching this. I'm like, this is great. And I tried it. Ever since then, I've never had an undercarb beer.
So your success came from your analyzation and bringing in new peas.
Checking out some YouTube videos, kind of blending them together. Now, the YouTube video that I watched, they had a Zalmanagel to check, and I'm like, well, yeah, I don't have one of those yet, but it gets you in the ballpark.
Right.
If you can figure out the formula to roughly get at like 2.5 volumes, then you're in the ballpark. That's better than not knowing at all.
Right.
And then also with the flow meter, you can see how stuck your carb stone is, because you can see how much is going through it.
Right.
There's a lot of times, like I just cleaned my carb stones for this beer, because I'm like, these are gunked up. Like I don't even know if I'll be able to get anything flowing through them. Cleaned them and then went to carb these, and I was like, fingers crossed, and they were perfect. And I mean, the flow meter has a little ball, it just bounces up and down, and you can dial it in on like how many liters per minute, and boom, it's like I could have went all the way up to 1.5, or I think I went with a half liter per minute this time, just to kind of slow it down.
Yeah. Cool, man. So, of course, with success comes failure. And sometimes failures are funny because we can sit back and laugh about them. And sometimes they're a bit devastating. And we've heard some horror stories. What is the worst thing that's happened to you in the brewing process?
I put out a wheat beer this summer, and it was in the midst of us traveling on vacation to Kentucky, and I didn't properly take the time to do the adjuncts. So I did a 1-barrel batch. It was the first 1-barrel batch that I did, right? Wheat beer, super basic. We had a block party coming up, and then also a retirement party. I'm like, half barrel for both of them.
Yeah.
So one was going to be a wheat mango wheat beer. I was going to add mangoes on it, and the other one was going to be a lemon mint wheat beer.
Oh, wow. Okay, that sounds really interesting.
Excuse me. And so I've done that one before, and it turned out good. So when I did the lemon mint wheat beer, I did lemon zest, soaked it in alcohol let it sit for like a week or so. Well, I didn't do that before the time that I needed it done. So I ended up going and getting like Minute Maid lemonade and trying to like pour it like in there. And what I had to do was couldn't make both those beers in the same fermenter or in the unitank. So I kegged one of them and I was pouring this, lemon mint extract and the lemon zest into it. Or not the lemon zest, but the Minute Maid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, this will work. And then I go to put the mangoes in, and I just wanted like a light mango taste. So I got these frozen mango chunks, dropped them in. I kegged that. That beer came out so incredibly bitter. It was terrible. And I'm like, I added fruit. Like, what gives? So I started researching, and mangoes can give you a bitter taste. And I believe it's because I didn't add. Like, you need to add a ton of fruit, even if you want a little taste. You just got to not have that beer sit on it that long.
Yeah.
So what I did was add a little bit, thinking it would add a little flavor.
And then you just left.
It came out so bitter, and, like, I'm panicking the, like, days before the block party. I got, like, pure mango juice. We juiced mangoes, like, poured it all in. It was terrible. And, like, you know how it is. If you brew something and you taste something that's wrong, you can't get that out of your mind.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's there. So people are like, oh, no, I really like this. I'm like, no, that's garbage.
Yeah.
That's straight garbage.
You're walking around knocking out people's hands like, don't drink that.
And then the lemon mint wheat beer, it was like, dude, this just sucks. Like straight up, the lemon's not there. The mint, like, I think I used peppermint instead of regular mint. Or I did something just because I couldn't find it. I'm like, they both got dumped.
I have not been brave enough to use mint.
Yeah,
in
it's-
anything for that
So-
reason. I'm like so scared of mint.
For sure, man. It's so temperamental.
Actual mint leaves. So like I tried when I did this beer the first time, I tried muddling some mint leaves, putting it in alcohol. And if you muddle them just like slightly too much, they turn grassy. And that's what had happened. I'm like, this is disgusting. So like just gave up that. And so I was going to do mint extract for that. But that beer turned out terrible too. Literally, I have 2 like half barrel kegs of each just sitting in my basement full. I tried draining one today and like it was giving me a problem. I'm like, you gave me a problem from the start to the finish. And that's like literally the biggest thing that I've learned that was a failure, but it's like, it sucks. I wasted 1 barrel of beer.
Yeah.
And then like freaking like probably like 6 pounds of mangoes and
God,
actually
man.
more than that because we bought like another like 6 pounds of juice
Try
to
to save
add.
it,
Yeah, it was like, I'm just gonna turn around and drink a different beer.
I've had the same problem with frozen fruit.
Yeah.
I used frozen strawberries in one, and it's
Strawberries?
Same thing. It came out just bitter.
What do you think
And it
it
was
is
a ton
then?
of it because I knew strawberries don't come through very strong.
So
Do you think it's the
I've
fro-
had
the
luck
preservatives?
I've had luck with both frozen strawberries and frozen raspberries.
Okay.
But
Frozen raspberries never gave me trouble.
from what I researched, you gotta overdo it. Almost like you're trying to make like a smoothie sour or a fruited sour.
Yeah.
But you can't let that beer sit on it that long.
Okay.
You just gotta get it enough, like a tea bag. You put the same amount of tea, but if you want it strong, you leave it sit in there longer.
Steep
Not
it.
you take it out, early. But it seems like now I did the raspberry after the fact. Did the same process that I just explained. Overdid the raspberries, but just dumped it. We did a raspberry Citra blonde ale, and it came out great. Like wanted it to be like a juicy end of summer crusher, and it was.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to ask you. How'd you bounce back? And clearly you just sacked up and said, I'm going to try it again, man.
Added more fruit.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Added more fruit, but less time, and it worked. So
It kind of sounds like you have to like dare yourself almost to come back and try it again.
I don't think I'm brewing that wheat beer though. If so, it's probably going to be a 5-gallon batch.
It's like try a small one.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be honest. Just bring it to us, man. We'll drink it.
Hey, I need help drinking all the beer because I can brew a ton of beer.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to cut down a little bit. I gained a little too much weight, so
Preaching to the choir.
I-
Church.
I
Church.
need.
I give all mine to him.
I definitely need help drinking it. So
Well, hey, man, you got 2 pretty strong eyelashes here that are going to help you drink that beer if you ever want to get rid of
bring
it.
growlers over whenever you want and just fill up, man.
Oh, yeah, man. If
Mine's empty.
if
That
it's
thing-
like this, man, we're going to be over a lot.
Oh, there might be a little left.
Oh, there you go.
Top
I'll
yourself off.
gladly take it.
So
I got a quick question before
Okay.
we get into that. Do you have a favorite style and a least favorite style that you brew? I can take a guess at your favorite.
Dude, I love hazies. Like, it's just night and day. Like, everybody's
They're fun
like,
to brew,
oh,
too.
Yeah.
well, you're adding so much stuff to them, and you can add hops at any point.
Right.
Like, we're literally adding hops in the mash tomorrow for our brew.
Yeah.
Like, in the mash, we've added them in the fermenter and racked off beer from the boil halfway through the boil and put it on it. It's called dip hopping.
Oh,
and
okay.
you can turn like a crappy hop into something that's like very fruity. Like,
Oh, cool.
it's crazy. There's a lot of breweries that do that, but it's interesting to do and just try all these different techniques. So yeah, hazy IPAs are my favorite to drink and brew. I think my least favorite to brew is probably like my Kolsch, but my Kolsch is one of the best beers.
Yeah.
And it's just because it's not much to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not adding a ton of grain, like specialty grain.
It's all about just
It's-
controlling that temperature and
Yeah.
getting it where you need it.
and then it sits there for 6 weeks, and
Right.
it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, like I got to brew so much. I'll probably do a 1-barrel batch of that this year.
Yeah.
Just so I have it all summer.
Yeah,
Like-
that's a good idea.
Dude, I'm a Kolsch guy. I love Kolsch. It's just the clean. I don't know, man. It's something about that. I've kind of reverted back to the Crispies and very clean, and I don't know. I'll have to get some of yours.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
Summertime, I'm all about the easy drinkers.
Yes.
And that Kolsch, I mean, you just keep crushing it. Like it's a fan favorite because everybody likes it. You know, some people will come over and not like the hoppies, but like the Kolsch,
Yeah.
my dad, who was like a PBR drinker, now drinks all my sours and loves them.
Yeah.
And Kolsch, he's like, that's my favorite beer.
Got him with that gateway drug,
Yeah,
bud.
yeah. But I'm excited to brew it this year because I'll get to change the water chemistry on it.
That's right.
To see.
Oh,
it should
dude,
be
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And
so
you got RO. You're starting with RO, so
Yep.
it should be.
I'm looking forward to doing that, and then trying to get a little more head retention on it. And I think it would be like
Cool, man.
chef's kiss, you know?
Hey, man, when it's ready to go, let me know.
I will.
I'm swinging through.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Somehow I got my mom from a blue. She'd order Blue Moons everywhere with
Yeah.
like 3 orange slices. To now she likes hazies. Like if we go to places, I'm like, get this haze. As long as it's tropical like this one, she would fucking love.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's weird to see. My dad is still a stickler. He like he'd drink
they're
a Kolsch.
tough.
He would drink a Kolsch all over the place, but he's still into the dad
Yeah.
beers, the traditional stuff, which is fine.
It's funny. He like requested me to can him like these fruited sours that
Yeah.
I made. I
That's
made
crazy.
it. I made a strawberry sour, but I put it on nitro. A strawberry
Oh,
smoothie
nice.
sour.
That would be cool.
And he's like, "This is so good." It was.
That'd be
It was an
cool.
awesome beer, and it was something that I didn't see like many people doing.
Yeah.
And dude, it kicks ass. But I think it has to be like a very strong fruit, like that holds up by itself.
Yeah.
And it turned out great. Like I love that beer.
I had never even thought about having a smoothie sour over nitro. The mouthfeel on
seems
it
like
has
such
to
a-
be
Just a
yeah.
great idea, but I don't think I've ever had it either.
No.
I looked it up online and I was like, there's like 2 breweries that did it, and the reviews are like terrible. And I'm like, screw it, I'm still doing
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
and
Still gonna try
the
it.
goal was just to smash it with a ton of strawberries, like one fruit that could, be a smoothie flavor by
Yeah.
itself.
Right.
Ton of vanilla beans, and then still haven't quite got like the amount of lactose to put into beers to really get like a nice like creamy taste.
Yeah.
Just maybe I can't pull it out, but regardless, yeah, I love putting certain beers on nitro, and that was one of them that just slammed. Like
Yeah.
summer parties, people were like, "This is awesome," but then nobody knows how to pour the nitro beers.
Yeah.
They're like tilting their glass. I'm like, no,
straight.
just set it down and just let
Yeah.
it
Just
go.
let it go.
And they're like, but it's all foamy. I'm like, it's supposed to be.
Watch
it
the cascade.
Yeah, watch it cascade. Like, look at it. Like, enjoy it. Like,
You get a
that's the-
show before you drink.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the fun part.
That was the coolest thing. One of the coolest things I got, I took a trip down to Florida. I have some relatives down there, and it got broken, but it was a glass made specifically for nitro canned beers. So it had a little notch here. So
Okay.
you'd crack it open and put the can and
Yeah.
just put your
That's
your
sick.
glass down and walk away from it, and it would just fill up and start cascading down. It had a little extra room.
Yeah.
And it ended up breaking, and I'm going back to Florida.
You gotta get
I
another
gotta
one.
get another one, and if I do, I'm gonna try to bring back a couple because it was such a cool idea, and just watching it, and I would do it, and like my wife would be like, "What do you?" I sat down and walk away. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Magic.
Yeah, like watch this.
One of the things that you probably noticed from my Instagram is that I get heavily obsessed with stuff. I mean,
No, I didn't notice at all.
so like when I brewed that nitro beer, I started looking up how to can nitro beer.
Yeah.
And like you can buy the ones with the widget on the bottom. You have to buy like a pallet of them, and like it wasn't like worth it. But I started looking up getting liquid nitrogen, and like that's how they dose cans. And actually they dose a lot of like just regular like water bottles with a small drop, and that's what fills it up.
Oh,
so
okay.
like now I'm sitting here thinking I'm gonna go get a growler of liquid nitrogen, and I'm gonna like hand dose a drop.
Yeah.
I just get crazy into stuff. But hey, maybe a couple years from now I'll be canning up
Reinventing it, man.
Yeah, because I tried to fill it in a growler.
Yeah.
And all the nitrogen comes out. And I tried to pour it real slow. It didn't work, but I was like, how can I do this? And how do these breweries do it? And they get a nitrogen dropper right before their canning line like puts the lid on.
Yeah.
It puts like one drop in this like smoke just goes out.
Yeah.
And it cans it. Oh, it's sick.
crazy.
I always wonder too, and I'm learning something now because I was always like, because you fill up a water bottle, like you refill like a Dasani or something, like
Yep.
it's flat.
That's what they do with all of those to get the pressure. I mean,
and also for shipping, and all that.
It's all these like any bottle or drink that needs to be like pressurized.
Yeah.
They'll put a little bit of nitrogen in it and it puffs it up.
Hey, the more you know. So when you're going through, I mean, you're brewing constantly, clearly, because you're perfecting your craft all the time. Who are some of your biggest allies when you're doing this? Because you said before, you're a dad, you have a wife, you have a whole life, you're a professional electrician, like you're doing all that. So who really influences you and supports you through all this?
I mean, my wife allowed me to buy everything, so
Shout out to wives that do that shit, right?
Seriously. I mean, she was in.
Thank you to my wife for allowing me to have all of this.
She took the trip to Kentucky to pick up 2 unitanks after I already had one, and then she took the trip and allowed me to bid on the 1-barrel unitank, and we drove to Brooklyn, New York, in the morning and back the same day.
That's insane.
So like, she's obviously the biggest support. But then you always got to throw like. I'm really close with my parents. Like, they live them out on the road. I have the first grandbabies of the family. So, like, they're always over. And my mom doesn't drink beer, but, I mean, she'll support the hell out of me. Oh, honey, you're doing amazing. Like, I could make a crappy beer, and she'd love it. So, my dad's always, like, the biggest critique who's, like, trying to nitpick,
everything.
What beer.
You need that, though.
But, I mean, he's always down there when he comes over pouring a beer, always. And then, like,
does he like not even say hi though? Like, does he like oh?
he'll
Just pulls
just
his hand out for the glass.
so like my house, you have to like come in the front door. We have like a multi-level house, so it's a couple steps up, couple steps down in the middle, and then you have to turn around and do more steps to get to the basement, which is where the brewery's at. So like he just comes up with beers whenever. Like he watches my daughters a couple days a week. I know he's having beers. Like, like. But I'm glad that's what it's there for, you know? Like, I don't brew 5 gallons or 10 gallons of these beers and having 6 on tap to just sit there. Like, I want people to drink them.
And how cool is it that your dad is like one of your biggest fans?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then all friends. I mean, they come over, drink. My brother comes over and drinks everything. My one cousin is like, who got me into loving beer. I go over his house like when I was like real little. And he'd have these massive parties and pulling out all these cool labeled beers and everything. And I always wanted to be like him. So, like, drinking these craft beers I'm like, I want to drink those. I want to do that. So that's what got me started in the craft beer.
That's cool, man.
But he comes over and he'll be super honest with everything. He's like, this is great. He's like, I'd add a little, get a little more hopness to this or, whatever it is. But my family.
But you need that, though, too.
Yeah.
You need someone to be honest.
Yeah. I don't want you to lie to me and tell me it's great whenever it's like, hey, man, like carbonation's a little low or like the aroma's not quite there or there's no maltiness. Like this beer derived from a friend telling me, like, I was like, give me your honest opinion. He's like, there wasn't really much malt flavor. So like if we held this up, it's a little darker than like, it's not a super light hazy.
Yeah.
But like I have honey malt in here and a ton of wheat. So like I purposely wasn't trying to go light. But I wanted that malt flavor to come through more and fix that problem, which it did. I love the taste of this base. That's why I stick with it and just change the hops.
That's awesome, man. So Are there any current plans you have right now for maybe more of an expansion, maybe a tap room, maybe going pro? Is there any ideas in your head right now?
There's a million ideas. Like I said, I get way over
Yeah.
committed to these ideas. There's no plans actually set right now, but something that I wish I would have known in the beginning was if I could have got my brewery license by building it in my garage, I would have.
Yeah.
Like when I started building that, there was nobody in PA that I knew of that built a garage brewery.
Right.
Now I'm kicking myself in the ass because I could be selling my beers. I mean, I don't need like super big equipment, but at least I could be licensed or,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
See your beer at Mike's Beer Barn. Shout out to Mike's Beer Barn.
But, I mean, there's a lot of hurdles whenever it's
Yeah.
looking into it. I mean, right now I feel like there's so many new breweries coming out. And it's like, oh, do I want to be that next brewery that just comes out? You really got to smash the beers.
It's very intimidating.
Yeah, it's intimidating. You really have to have like these lineup of beers to really make
Right.
headway. But then it's also the financial point. Like,
It's crazy.
dude, like the space that you have to buy or lease, and then you have to renovate it,
Yeah.
and then the equipment's not cheap.
No.
And it's like, and how big do you go? What do you want to have food? There's more problems with food. It's like, I want to do this, but like, I don't know what the right path is right now.
Yeah.
So like, if I could set up something where I'm brewing in my garage, and I could, you know, ultimately sell my beers, but just make enough money to like
Break even
cover
on it.
the
Yeah,
but like,
exactly.
hey, it's me just brewing the beers that I plan on drinking,
And you're having
and I
fun
can
and-
sell the rest of them. You know, now they still have to be good beers. I can't
Of
be
course,
putting out
yeah.
shit beers and like
Right.
expect people to buy them, but that would be awesome. Where
Mm-hmm.
then you could start and get the footprint, you know, or the stepping stone of getting into brewing, getting your name out there, maybe building enough recipes where it's like, man, we could have, you know, so many beers on tap that people like, and you can get money a lot easier once
Yeah.
you're established and there's the demand, you know, open up a tap room or like a brew pub.
Right.
So it's the thought's always there.
Yeah.
It's just
It's the-
which pathway do I want to take?
Yeah.
I'm still at the beginning, like which way do I want to go and commit? And there's certain times in like my life too that gets real busy since I have two little ones.
Oh yeah.
And then this past Christmas time, I didn't brew for like 2 months. Christmas was crazy busy for some reason.
Yeah.
Like the holiday was crazy. So I didn't touch anything for like 2 months.
Did you get real antsy?
It was just like, it was very frustrating because like the only time that I could like do something in a brewery, I just wanted to sit down and relax.
Yeah.
It was like, damn it, like, am I going to get away from this? Like, is this what's happening? Like
it's
we
just your
say
break.
goodbye?
Yeah.
And I was like, no. So like, we're back full in it. I think I already have 3 brews this year,
Nice.
which is more than I have like, you know, brewed in months.
Yeah.
So I'm pumped to get back in there. You lose knowledge too if you don't brew. And that's the
It-
crappy part. It's like you almost forget steps when you're brewing. Not like you forget like, oh, I forgot to mash, but it's like, oh, I didn't take my pH reading, or you know, like I didn't take a pre-boil gravity. Like it's just little things like
things,
that.
yeah.
You're like, crap, I know better to do that. But it's good to get back in the routine, and
Yeah.
it just then it becomes routine, and you just do the stuff without even knowing.
Yeah. And I can say this, and I think I'm speaking for everyone sitting here. Nothing is as cool as seeing someone that you have just met drink your beer and they light up like a Christmas tree.
It's the best thing, having a party and,
Yeah.
and like a beer gets kicked, and it's like, hell yeah.
and everyone's talking
Yeah.
about it.
No, I
It's
can make
so
a new
good.
one.
Yeah, well, that too. It's like, all right, when I have too much on tap, and it's like I need to brew another one, it's like party time. Let's kick some of these
Got a little
kegs.
fire in the back,
yeah.
and we got dude, that's gotta be so much fun. So we are gonna move into a little thing we call the lightning round. So, and you've watched us, you've listened to us a little
have.
bit. We are a combat sports focused podcast.
Hell yeah.
So we are going to fire some questions off at you, and we're going to go back and forth. I'm just going to go first. I'm going to go second. We're going to fire them out until we're out of questions and you're out of brain cells. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm taking first. Who's your favorite pro wrestler of all time?
Undertaker,
Good choice.
Favorite finisher of all time?
chokeslam.
Favorite Attitude Era wrestler can be from WWF, WCW, or ECW.
Oh,
Other than The Undertaker, because he was there.
Yeah.
can I do like a group?
Yeah.
So, like,
Favorite faction?
can we
That's
do
fine.
like the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
NWO.
I was little, like that was the shit,
was it.
man. Like,
Was, still is.
yeah. Correction.
Nice. And Undertaker just got announced for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Now I showed our hand on when we're recording this.
Yeah, well, whoops. See you in the future, guys. Most hated wrestler of all time.
Oh man, that changed, but Kurt Angle was on that list for a while.
Oh man.
I was on like the suck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
you suck.
Yeah, you suck. Yeah, I was on that for a while just because he thought he was like so the shit, you know.
Yeah.
You suck.
I loved it, man. Yeah.
Your favorite match of all time?
So I had to look this up. I don't know the match, but it was when the Undertaker threw Mankind off the cage
Hell in a
into.
Cell.
Yeah.
That was in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't
You're
even
the
know.
second person so
Yeah,
far,
dude.
and that's we went back and did a retro episode, and that's the one we featured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm an Undertaker. I love Undertaker and Kane, dude.
Yeah.
When we were little, it was like choke slamming everybody on beds. Like that was
Yep.
it, and it was just like you couldn't be doing Undertaker's finisher to kids
No,
because it was like, yeah, you're gonna break somebody's neck.
And if you
It's
had
like-
like if one of your friends could actually sell it too, where they
Yeah.
jump with you,
Yeah.
and it was.
but it was
awesome.
like the choke slam was good. It's like you got a bed, mom. I can
yeah,
choke slam
go
somebody.
into the back. We're good.
Dude,
I
those
choke
guys
slam
are-
my dog into bed to this day.
Those guys are so badass.
So if you could have a beer with any wrestling personality, it's dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you drink?
Stone cold, and I'm crushing Coors Light, man.
That's
Just
what I'm talking about. Yes.
Can't believe you're the first person to say that.
I kept waiting for someone to bring it up because I
Dude,
don't.
without a doubt, I don't
Yeah.
care what beer, but Coors Light would be like the ultimate.
Yeah.
If we do the Skull Crusher IPA, dude, we can crush that too. But his choice, but Coors Light, man, bring out that truck and let's just.
Oh yeah.
Spill them all over the place.
Yeah,
He drank like 1/6 of those things. Bathe himself. So we are going to go into a break, and just to let you know, we're actually in a partnership with a bunch of other podcasts on Twitter. So here's a shout out to a podcast called Unchefed, and we've been featuring ads, but I want to make sure that everyone knows this one's very significant to me because Brendan from Unchefed has done a lot for us and for indie podcasts. So he brings you a weekly Unchefed podcast where he unpacks the history behind what ends up on our plates in hopes that we all become better foodies. The podcast is full of great conversation, interesting interviews, and best of all, food. Thick men, we love food, and that podcast is all about it.
I'm hungry.
Exactly. And it makes you hungry too. It's a great podcast. And we're going to put some sponsors in here too. So, and if you support our sponsors, you support us. And when you support us, we're bringing some pretty cool stuff like talking to Dem Bones Brewing. So we'll see you on the other side.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to the Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. And as you can see, we are all tatted up. So Adam, I have to ask you, buddy, what's the number one rule about having tattoos?
Aftercare, Matt.
That's right, aftercare. And what's the number one company for aftercare?
I only use Lucky 13s.
I only use Lucky 13s as well. So, and all of our fans can too. So if you go to lucky13s.com and use our promo code MATA193529, you can save 25% on your entire order because
From the first line of your tattoo and beyond, Lucky 13s keeps you looking fresh.
welcome back. Hopefully you heard something you like because again, when you support our sponsors, you support us. And when you support us, we're bringing some pretty cool stuff like talking to Dem Bones Brewing. And don't forget about the Unchefed podcast. So we have crested over into round 2, and you continue to bring us some fabulous beers. I'm excited for this one. So it is round 2. You brought some more beers, put them together.
All right,
Call
this is-
round 2 beers.
This is the second edition, man. This is the Citra Galaxy. So this one features the Galaxy hop. Same everything else except the percentage extra of Citra that I put in the all Citra is Galaxy. So this features Galaxy. I think you guys are gonna like this one.
We were talking about it, and
Yeah.
I thought you were brewing that this weekend. I didn't know we got to try it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, no. They're both because it's a split batch. So I'll brew,
Nice.
10 gallons of this.
Yeah.
And then in the fermenters, dry hop with different hops.
Nice.
And it's
That's
nice
cool,
because I
man.
can get 2 different hazies, but like
I don't have to be careful.
you're gonna notice a significant difference in taste.
Okay.
Oh no, this can.
Oh no. The sound effects. It's how we get paid.
That's all right. I got the first one.
I was gonna say that. I don't know what happened to that can.
My lord. I can already tell just by the color.
Does anybody need some more?
Oh no.
This is still.
I'll take a little bit.
See, here's the hard part. When we get in the second side here, I have to sneak sips in, and you'll see why.
Yeah, you talk a lot.
I do a lot of talking in the second half.
Not that you talk a
Matt,
lot, but you have
talk too much.
No, you have
never
to
shut up.
Too much.
No, you have to talk a lot.
just a little bit. Oh man.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Galaxy, like you say, the earthiness of the new Galaxy crop comes
Yeah,
off to me almost like a nuttiness in
Yeah.
parts, like almost like just a tad of peanut flavor for some
Yeah.
reason. And that's how I can like pick out Galaxy from 2021.
See,
Basically.
this is when it comes to a hazy. This is the flavor profile that I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
When it gets really into that, like cresting towards like Idaho, kind of that very earthiness. I love that, and this delivers.
This
That
Galaxy, it's real earthy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's maybe that little bit of Citra that still kind of rounds out some of the fruitiness
pushes
in it.
a little bit.
A little bit. It kind of like edges. It's like, hey, you're still there a little
Yeah.
bit, but then you get that like real earthy taste, and but I still like it. Like it's a great. I hit that combo. I do the Citra, then I do the Galaxy. Every time I drink beer, it's like that's the 1-2 punch right there.
Nice. So we are going to move into the social media Smackdown, and well, you know, I didn't post one because
He's a lazy motherfucker.
I got lazy.
Whoops.
I got lazy.
You got busy.
Yeah, the crippling responsibilities of life.
I have kids and a job.
Well, the good thing though is
I don't care about our fans. Woo. That's Matt, everybody.
I care about them. I care about them so much that I went and stole some shit from our friends over at Casting Views.
I'm tracking down professional actors. Boo. I'm so busy talking to my famous friends.
I'm Hollywood now. I have a casting director that I answer to. And so it's pretty nice. I'm signed with CAA.
It's me.
Getting big time.
It's
I
me,
know.
and he's going to get on that couch.
That's why I grew this hair out. Yeah.
Give me something to pull.
So I did steal a social media Smackdown from Casting Views. They had a great episode out where they talked about weird ways to earn money online, and they had 3 of them, and they put them out to all their fans, like which one was the weirdest one. So it was selling farts in a jar.
Oh my god, I heard about that.
Yeah, selling used bathwater, and then selling fresh air. The selling fresh air one's
Isn't
like
that from like China? The fresh air?
no,
That would make sense.
It's from I think it's
so
from
polluted.
I think it's Irish.
Is
Like,
it?
Yeah, like a local proletariat or whatever. Like it was like I'll capture the air for you and I'll bring it to you. So, but their fans came in rock solid for selling farts in a jar. Like
We watched 90 Day Fiance, and that's what
That's
the girl
her.
was from.
Yeah.
And like I heard this story, and they're like, "Yeah, it's 90 Day Fiance girl," and she was like a psycho on TV, and now she's like selling farts in a
Yeah.
jar. It's like I could definitely
And a
succeed in that if anybody wanted a fart in a jar.
That's
And
all
it,
I'm
and it only
saying.
lasted for 1 week because she thought she farted herself into a heart attack.
yeah.
But it ended up just being like acid reflux. It's like, oh, you can talk to me about acid reflux. It's way different.
also you tapped out way too early. You were in the first round. They barely got a rear naked choke on you. Like it's too much. It's too much.
Hit me after a party
she
down
make-
here in the Jojitorium. I'll give you something to sniff.
She made like 40 grand.
Dude, she was
in
making
like
money
in a
into
week.
pissed. Yeah,
It's like, man, feed me beans and beer, and I'm good.
that's all I'm saying.
Oh, what a
I
tough
could,
life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could do
I'm
it.
sorry.
And if anyone wants to buy those weird farts in a jar, I can tell you right now, my supply severely outweighs the demand.
No, don't tell them that.
You know what's terrible is like she's getting like praise for this, but if I fart at home, it's not praise.
No,
Like it's like you're
exactly.
disgusting.
We need equality.
I'm like, that was quality right
Yeah.
there.
That is a double standard.
You know, here's a funny story. My daughter now blames every fart on the TV.
Yeah?
Because I told her one time it was the floorboard, and if she farts or I fart, she'll go, I think that was the TV. And I'm like, that's my girl.
That's right. I taught my kids snitches get stitches. I bought her Sour Patch Kids at Walmart because my wife said you can't have that, so I bought them. We went around to the back of Walmart and ate them together. And she came out and she was like, "We did something naughty, Mom." I was like, "Oh!"
You can't tell mom
Can't
if
tell
we're going to
Mom.
do something fun.
So, speaking of doing something fun, we are in the second round here, and this is one of my favorite things to do, and it's to pit my best friend against the guest we bring on. And unfortunately, you're in the hot
I
chair.
hate that you do this to me.
Why?
It's just a lot of pressure.
You're really good at it. You're 3-1.
I try.
I mean,
I was just happy I beat Goodfellow. That was a lot.
That, yeah, that's a big one.
dude, you play it off like you're so bad, but you just like are sitting back and you're like, yeah, I know that answer. Yo, I know that one. I know that one.
I've been watching
You gave him like a 4-0 lead.
Yeah,
And then just came back and just like
Dunked on him.
whitewashed him, like naked lapped him. It was like, I'm like, cool. I'm going to get crushed.
I've been watching a lot of pop culture since COVID hit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And also, too, I've been upsetting Adam a lot because I've been picking topics that he's like, I don't know shit about magic, and I don't know shit about
Taylor Swift.
Taylor's.
Oh,
Oh, no,
I
he
did
knows a
know
lot
that.
about
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. Yeah, that's a fetish. So, with a name like Dem Bones, I'm gonna assume, I could be wrong, I could be right, that you like horror movies, horror culture.
So I watch all that stuff,
Yeah.
but it's getting the time to sit down and watch
Yep.
all that stuff. Like I love American Horror Story. We watched all of those and like binge watched them.
Nice. So, if you are down with some horror, I actually have some horror trivia for you and Adam to kind of go over here.
Boy,
Yeah, and,
gonna embarrass
and
myself.
Adam likes to. He fancies himself a horror junkie.
I say I am, but this is gonna put it to the test. I'm sure you pulled some random ass shit.
I definitely do, and that's only to make it fun.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
gotta
absolutely.
be.
It's gotta-
Rise
gotta keep it
to
interesting.
the top. So, you guys have to decide who goes first, and then I'll start getting into the rounds.
Visitor first.
Visitor goes first. So
I'll go
we are
first.
going to break it down in 3 rounds. If I can quote, was it Guy Fieri? Yeah. Break it down. 3 rounds.
Jeez, was that a guy's grocery case?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Talk about a horror.
Yeah. Take me to Flavortown, Daddy. So
Flavortown's worth a lot of money.
Flavortown does a lot of weird shit too. So there's gonna be 3 rounds here. There's gonna be multiple choice, a little bit of this or that, and there's gonna be a final question. Okay, so you're gonna kick it off in multiple choice. So the way this works is I'm gonna pitch you the first question. I'm gonna give you the choices, and if you get it right, you get first crack at the bonus. Now, if you miss that, Adam gets a chance to steal the whole thing.
All right.
Okay, so
Oh, well,
gotta get it out, man.
Got to.
Those hazies are crushing me.
Oh, they bring the burps.
They bring the burps. So, hometown director George A. Romero's cultural hit, Night of the Living Dead, had many quotable lines. Please finish this one. They're coming to get you. Sarah, Patricia, Barbara, Diane.
I have no clue, but we like Diane.
Adam.
Barbara.
Correct.
Man.
Now, don't worry.
Who
That's-
gets the bonus now? I get the bonus?
You get a
You get
first
the
shot at the
bonus.
bonus. Another hometown boy, Tom Savini, brought his vibrant and violent take on this Romero classic in what year? 1989, 1999, 1994, or 1990?
Run those back. I'm sorry. I thought they were going to go in increasing years and you
Nope.
got them all over the place.
That's why I did it on
try
purpose.
Yeah, try it again. Just hit me with those 4 options again, please.
1989,
Okay.
1999, 1994, 1990.
1990.
Correct. Adam
I,
takes
I thought it was 89 or 90. I couldn't.
You are taking it's a 2-0 lead. Don't worry.
That's all right. I didn't have
You
high
went
hopes.
zombies first. That wasn't fair.
Man, I did not have high hopes. I'm just going to drink my beer. And
That's the beauty of this.
Yeah.
You can still have fun. Yeah.
I'm enjoying this. I'll get it wrong, but I'm winning.
Absolutely. I'm losing because I don't get to drink. It's a lot of talking. So, Adam, it's back to you. Horror can get pretty meta at times, and Cabin in the Woods from 2011 is a staple of such a cinematic approach. Much to the disappointment of a master operator, what mythical creature is at 500 to 1 odds? Unicorn, mermaid, Pegasus, or wizard?
Oh, between 2. I'm going to go unicorn.
Wrong.
Is it Mermaid?
It is mermaid.
I've actually seen that movie.
Yes. So,
Oh, yeah, because then the wicked ass looking mermaid. Oh, yeah, yeah.
and he
yeah,
sprays it because it's hard to clean up, and they don't want to launch them. That's why they bury them in the cubes. So, first crack of the bonus question to tie it up. Richard Jenkins stars as Gary Sitterson in Cabin in the Woods, but before he made horny teenagers into human kebabs, he was giving inspirational speeches in movies. What creature did his dad say he couldn't fucking be during one of those inspirational speeches? A crocodile, snake, a dinosaur, or Fred Durst?
Dinosaur.
That is correct.
Damn, it's all tied up.
Man.
That's
We're
from
just
Step
stealing.
Brothers.
I know.
Yeah.
I was well, I didn't know. I was just like, well, the only thing that I could think of is Step Brothers.
Wonderful.
I got to take small little pieces and just try and correlate them.
You
and
got it, man.
Swing for the fences.
All right. Well, Here's an opportunity to piss Adam off a lot because if you answer this question right, he's going to melt down. So, the Murder Dolls were a horror punk outfit headed by Wednesday 13 and the late great Joey Jordan of Slipknot fame. Finish this lyric. And I wish I may, I wish I might, taste blood tonight, find me a cold dead corpse tonight, grab your neck with all my might, play a CD for my self-indulgence, probably tight.
Oh, dude, I have no clue. I can't even repeat any of those, so I'm just going to go with B.
And that's correct. Look at you, man. And I wish I may, I wish I might, find me a cold dead corpse tonight. It's from Grave Robin USA from their debut album. So, first crack at the bonus question. You have a 3-2 lead.
Right now.
Wednesday 13 is in a ton of bands. But which of the following isn't one of them? Hansel and Gretel, Manic Spider Trash, Frankenstein Drag Queens from Planet 13, Grave Robin Psychobillies.
The Frankenstein, I don't remember what the rest it was.
You're wrong,
okay.
Unfortunately. Yes.
I don't know this either. Can I have the choices again?
Hansel and Gretel, Manic Spider Trash, Grave Robin Psychobillies.
I hope it's A. That's a lame ass.
That is actually a real band that he is part of. He's also the lead guitar player in Manic Spider Trash, and his first band ever was the Frankenstein Drag Queens from Planet 13. You still carry a 3-2 lead
I don't know how.
into the second round.
I gotta get 2 of these. I
So
gotta get both these.
we're going to move into this or that. So,
Oh god.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I got much better odds now.
yes, horror movies are incredible because you often find yourself rooting for the villain or at least wanting to see new interesting ways to see victims die. But who has more kills? Who is better than the other? I'm going to pitch you guys 2 horror movie icons, and you have to pick who has the higher kill count. And there's no chance to steal because, of course, there's only one option.
This is cool. I like
So,
It's gotta be me.
it's on you?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Because you only had 3 first round
Yeah.
questions?
this. Yep.
Yeah.
It's you. 'Cause I
6
won
if you
first.
count all the bonuses, but
Right,
yeah.
right.
So it's 3-2. Pennywise, the clown, from the new It,
Oh, nice.
chapters 1 and
Just the
2,
new one. Okay.
versus the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
All of them.
All of them.
The creeper.
That is correct. Pennywise clocks in at 10. The Creeper clocks in at 20.
That was good.
That's it.
That's
He
it.
killed that whole busload of kids.
No, he didn't.
Well, not all of them.
He killed about half of them.
Should have.
Yeah, he should have. Jaws versus Norman Bates.
I don't even know who Norman Bates is, but we're
Psycho.
Gonna... Okay. Norman Bates.
Jaws.
Damn it.
Clocking at 21-20. So it was a very,
Ooh, that's-
yeah,
I didn't know
very
Norman
close.
Bates had that.
I don't
many,
feel
to
as
be
bad
honest.
about getting that
No.
wrong now.
I would have guessed Jaws, but I thought Norman Bates had like.
I was going to say
single
Jaws
digit.
just because I didn't know who Norman Bates was, but then it's like, oh, no, I'm going to go with him.
That was a good guess, though. I mean, you're talking about one
So
kill.
I feel better about that one.
If they had a smaller boat, Jaws probably would have got more people.
Yeah. Damn, Jaws.
The Invisible Man, the original Invisible Man, versus Jigsaw.
The original Invisible Man.
Yes.
So like one movie
Yes.
versus Saw.
Oh, you're picking
1
you're
through
pick
8?
you're picking how many movies? That's so smart.
Man. I feel like it's a trick question, but I'm gonna go with Jigsaw.
You're wrong.
Wow.
The
I would've
Invisible,
went with Jigsaw,
the
too.
Invisible Man actually
I hate
doubles
the Invisible
Jigsaw.
Man. He loves that. I
I
had that
do. I
question.
love the Invisible Man. Jigsaw clocks in at 60 over his story arc, and the Invisible Man clocks in at 122
Wow, that's
In
like
one movie.
in one movie.
dude,
I gotta
that's,
watch that. Maybe
yes.
I don't hate that movie.
that's like big time big leagues compared
big
to
leagues.
like our
It's brutal.
last few questions. Yeah.
So, Candyman versus Leatherface.
I didn't see Candyman.
We're not talking about the new ones. So the new
Yeah.
Leatherface that debuts on Netflix,
Yeah.
not included. The
Okay.
new Candyman, not included.
Okay. We're going with Leatherface.
You are correct. Leatherface clicking in at 30, Candyman clicking in at 22. It's pretty close too.
I
mean,
sure on
it-
that one.
Yeah.
I obviously never seen Candyman, but I'm like Leatherface. I'm like he kills a lot of people.
Lot of
So I'm
people.
like,
And brutally too.
Well, it's like he doesn't kill a ton in any one movie, but there's so many movies, and he gets at least like
At
two or
least
three.
two, yeah. There's always one he brutally injures that gets
Right,
away.
right.
Yeah. Let's see here. It's on Adam, and it's 4-2.
4-3.
Is it 4-3?
4-3. He got the first this or that.
That's right.
question.
Yep.
Yes,
So it's
I have
4-3.
three.
So
Thanks for keeping score.
Yeah,
I
well,
was like,
I
whatever.
lose
I
track.
got you. I'm not going to take a false win. You know.
You could have.
But then it just brings it back to Squid Games, you know?
Is this the last one?
Like-
Is this the last this or that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Pinhead versus Freddy Krueger.
Oh, you motherfucker. See, the Hellraiser movies are so drawn out, but then there were those shitty ones, and I don't know if he just... So it's Pinhead himself, like, killing the people.
Yes.
Freddy Krueger.
You're right, 35 to 33. So
This is easily my favorite, this or that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too.
Like, this is
All
awesome.
of it's tough. You got them all real close. It's
Yes,
not like super
yeah.
obvious. I was just like, there's a lot more Hellraiser movies, but like,
the one I wanted to make completely lopsided was the Invisible Man and Jigsaw.
then you got me, and you got me.
Gotcha. So we're tied 4-4, which is fantastic. This is working out how I
It's
planned.
coming down to it.
Ghostface from Scream versus Chucky from Child's Play.
Scream.
Correct. 42 to 40.
Oh, wow.
That's closer. than I
That's
thought,
really
too.
close.
That was my guess too, but that's way closer than I thought.
So 5-4.
You got little legs; it's hard to catch all.
It is. It is. It is. Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees.
Fuck. I looked this up once too, like years ago.
Yeah. And you looked it up once too whenever we had a big horror movie showdown.
Yeah. Damn it. We including the new Halloween movie?
All of it.
Oh,
You
man.
might have caught him.
Yeah, there's like...
I'm gonna go with
20.
my favorite. Against my better judgment, I'm gonna say Jason Voorhees.
You're correct. Mr. Voorhees is clocking in at 146 kills, confirmed to Michael Myers 121 over the entire story arc. Wow. So what we're carrying 5-5.
I'm really happy that Halloween Kills sucked.
Yes.
So I didn't pick Michael.
Fuck you, Activia. So we're moving into the final question. And so the points actually don't even matter.
No, it just comes down to
Comes
this.
down to this.
Are we tied?
Tied
Tied.
5-5. Now
That's it.
you
Always
made
ends this way.
he made a complaint the last time I did this. We're like, you're just making these fucking totals up. So I didn't do that.
I didn't say you were making the total.
Complain.
I said you were ripping off other podcasts.
Yeah, thank you, Steve from Hop Nation.
Yeah.
So what I'm going
I
to do
should be
is
original.
I'm original now.
Okay.
Here we go. So the final question, or should I say questions?
Oh.
So each of you are going to get a junket of questions, and you have to tell me which one is false. 3 statements from horror movies.
It's like
You have to tell me
it's like a
which
shootout in
one's
hockey.
false.
I would have rather
we're
just
do-
the
we're do-
one or done question. I was studying up on my box office.
Totals.
Here comes the curveball. So I think you went first at the beginning, so I think, Adam, it's only fair that you go first now.
Whatever you think, host.
Thank you. So, Adam, listen carefully. These are either true or false. There's only one false statement here. Okay?
Got it.
The stars of the Blair Witch Project were given their instructions for the day via GPS trackers and drop spots. Aliens, sequel to Alien, took 3 years to make. Jaws doesn't fully appear in one shot of the film until 1 hour and 21 minutes into the movie. Which statement is false?
I'm between two of them.
Okay.
But man, that seems insane. I just watched the documentary on it. 3 years seems like a really long time. I know it took a long time for Aliens, but I think 3 years they would have got their funding cut. So I'm going with that.
It is correct. That is false. However, it's false for different reasons because it actually took 7 years due to
No way.
due to complications in funding and legal red tape. So you are correct, but correct for the wrong, reasons.
Well, I knew they had a problem because they filmed it all in England, and like
Yep.
the film crew wanted to take tea time all the time.
They went over budget, and then lawyers came in, and Gigi Geiger was like suing everybody.
I had no
Yeah.
freaking idea it took
Yeah.
7 years. They didn't get into that in the documentary at all.
So to come away with a draw to give Adam his first tie because he's coming in at 3-1 here.
That would suck so bad having a tie on your record.
You know what? If it comes down to it, I'll figure something out. I got a lot of shit.
Like
Click
kissing
clack.
your
I mean, I would celebrate that as a win
Yeah.
myself. But
Oh, you
But for
should.
him,
You know.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
hurt me. It's
yeah.
So these are your 3 questions.
gonna get you more listens if you tie me. There's just no pressure. But
Psycho with Norman Bates was the first American film to feature a toilet. Count Orlok from Nosferatu only blinks once in the movie. Wes Craven wanted Robert Englund to get first crack at Freddy Krueger that he waited outside of Englund's home with a contract and a blank check.
So only one's false.
Only one's false.
Not like I know any of them. I'm just like running through like which one's like the more like exaggerated one that is true, which one is like middle, it's totally fake. All right. This is for all the marbles. I'm going to say the first one with the toilet.
Unfortunately, that is a true statement. Damn. American Psycho was the first American film in cinema history that featured a toilet that actually was operable.
That one made me giggle. I did not know that. That's freaking...
Yeah. Count Orlok does only blink once in Nosferatu, and it happens about 9 minutes before the end of the first half.
I would
have
have never... It would have been between the
if you
first one and second one.
If I guessed that and you told me
C.
it was true, I would watch the freaking movie and count.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be so pissed.
The shocker here is Wes Craven actually didn't pick Robert Englund first. He actually picked a British character actor by the name of David Warner. He wanted David Warner really bad, but David Warner had some other commitments that he couldn't get away from. So Robert Englund was the next in line, and now we have
wasn't even a thought in my head. I'm like, contract this and that. It's off to the side. I'm like, the first two are totally two like things that are going to be wrong.
They were definitely weirder.
So a valiant effort, sir.
Hey,
good job on those
I'm
true false statements.
Thank
Those
you.
are weird facts.
I'm proud of myself.
Thank you.
Successful win on your behalf. You know,
Great effort.
Hey,
for someone who
came
said
in
you
here-
had no idea what was going on.
I mean, half those were guesses, and like I maybe got like two that I actually knew.
Come back in for a rematch and hope
Yeah.
it's something I don't like.
I will.
Or don't know anything
I know
about.
lots of he doesn't
Just
like.
give me a heads up on the category. I'll start binge
there you
watching
go.
everything.
I'll send you the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll binge watch all the movies.
So I'm actually going to let you, because you brought 3 beers, so I'm actually going to introduce round 3 beers, but I actually have a little bit left on mine. So what I want to do is while you introduce that one, I'm going to finish this one. So it was
right.
round 3.
Yeah,
You brought
yeah.
more beers, put them together.
Yes, sir.
Round 3 beers.
That was creative.
Got to reach down to get it.
And while he's getting it, I would like to let everybody know Round 3 Beers is brought to you by Celebrity Birthdays. So we're celebrating March 6th when this podcast is being released. Tyler, the Creator,
Oh,
Shaquille O'Neal,
Nice.
and very good friend of the podcast from the Beyond, Michelangelo. Sistine Chapel in the house, y'all.
yeah, no fucking idea what podcast were.
Friend of the podcast. Him and Andy Williams, equally friends of the podcast.
Also, Andre Arlovsky. Also,
Yes, also Andre Ellis.
I say, do we want to rinse these glasses? Because we're going to brown.
To
ale
Brown Ale?
now.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do a little.
how about we do?
need to edit
we'll
this
do a
out?
little transition. All right, glass is clean. Round 3 beers. What do we got?
So I brought you guys a brown ale. Now, the labels are handwritten crappy because I didn't think I was going to be canning this, but whenever I found out I was coming on, I was like, I got to bring it to them and see what they think.
Thank you.
So this is a brown ale designed to be put into a Maker's Mark Select barrel pick from a bourbon group.
Nice.
So they reached out to me. They said, can you brew enough beer to fill a 53-gallon bourbon barrel? I said, absolutely, even though it's going to take me 3 brews, but we can do it. So I designed this beer. I asked them notes for the bourbon, and they said something that would be real complimentary would be chocolatey, honey, and nutty. So I'm like, all right, brown ale it is. So
Yep.
this guy is extremely roasty. We're coming in at 7.2%.
Nice.
And just think
I'm gonna help you out on this
it's
one.
going to go into a bourbon barrel. So like I tried bringing like a ton of extra flavor.
These are
Click, clack. If you ain't drinking during round 3 right now, I don't know what you're doing.
the smell.
Grab a beer.
The smell, buddy. Just wait till this gets to you, Adam.
Take off work. I'm gonna pour it like Stone Cold. I'm gonna get the remnants of both of these cans.
Yeah, it's roasty. It's a roasty
You got all
boy.
you want there, man?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
nah, that's ends up being pouring.
I'm a brown guy.
Okay.
So I love
All
browns.
right, I want your honest
Yeah.
opinion
He
on it
loves
too.
Brown Town. There's a little bit more in this. Whoever
I'll take it.
wants it. But yeah, if you're at work listening to this, take off work now. Go
Yeah.
get yourself a brown ale.
Call off.
It's a little bit more here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I need. Oh yeah.
little
I'm gonna
bit.
point that back in there. Put my sit back in. That's incredible.
Now this was not brewed with water chemistry either. This was pre
Okay.
RO system.
Yeah.
And actually, when I brewed this beer for this, it was in want to say October.
Okay.
It came out real light, and I was like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And so I just kind of put it in the kegerator and just let it sit. No. I tried it like a month.
Yeah.
Or a month after. Oh, it was probably end of January, February. I pulled this out and tried it, and I'm like, wow, did that condition.
Yeah.
Like it was so light before, like the flavor wasn't there. Now it's like a roasty little bugger.
I would say the thing I'm liking most about it is that unlike other browns where the roast is very forward, like the front thing that you're going to taste, this one sticks. Like there's the caramel to it. It just really, it's coated my tongue.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. I love a good roasty caramel base. This is it, man.
Good. I
this is
appreciate the
it.
feedback.
Yeah.
But it roasted malt in it, and then I upped chocolate malt too.
Yeah.
There's a little honey malt, and I believe a little
get that, too.
little
There's that sweetness.
a little victory thrown in there to try and
Nice.
get some like nuttiness a little bit.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I get like the roastiness up front, like Matt was saying, and then like chocolatey, and then strong caramel.
Yeah.
But that caramel like turns into a nuttiness and almost like it's probably the honey. Almost gives me like, I know there's not vanilla in it, but it gives me like almost the finish of a
It
vanilla.
does have a vanilla now that you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just right at the end, it gets like
twinge of sweetness.
sweet, like
Yeah.
a sweet vanilla honey
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah, I
right
totally
after the
get
nuttiness.
that.
Yeah.
Really
That's
good,
good.
man.
That's solid.
It's so
And what was this again? 7.2?
7.2. So like
Doesn't drink-
Sneaky
doesn't drink
7.2.
heavy.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be heavier on the alcohol, but I was like thinking about mashing in higher to try and keep some of the sugar in it because it was going in the bourbon barrel. Never put anything in a bourbon barrel
Yeah.
before. So I kind of had to like research stuff. I didn't quite follow everything that they say,
Yeah.
but I wanted the beer to come out good too, like to start. So I'm like, all right, 7.2, keep it high alcohol. It'll help, suck up some of this wood flavor and everything that it's got. And then also, if I can keep, I'd have to look up what this finished at, but I know it's a little sweeter.
Yeah.
And hopefully that balances out the bourbon that it takes in.
I think that'll really help once
sure.
once it hits the barrel.
And I tried, so I bought one of the bottles of Maker's Mark that was part of this barrel pick, and it's like spice.
Ooh, yeah.
Like just like a spiciness from like an apple pie kind of.
Okay.
Oh my God, it just goes like a it's so light though. So like I'm like, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
Going with a dark beer. That Maker's Mark, it smells so thick, but it drinks light and it's just crazy spicy. It's just like a party in your mouth. Like
Awesome.
So I put a couple drops in this the other night to see like how it would go, and it turned into like a graham cracker. I was like, holy crap. I'm like, I can't wait to put this with like a little wood hints in it and
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely.
So I don't know how long it's going to sit, honestly. It'll be one of those things we'll pull it whenever it tastes good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
So,
keep checking it.
I'm not even sure where I'm putting it. So,
Please let us know. Please let us know.
well, we're going to do bottles. We'll bottle
Yeah.
it. We're going to do a red top wax for it
Nice.
for like
Nice.
Maker's Mark. And
Can you please go overboard on one of them, like that viral picture where the one's like just completely like
halfway
DQ coated?
It'll be the last one when I have like way too much wax left, and it's just like pour it all the way down to the bottom.
Give it to that one friend that
Yeah.
talks too much shit. Like, this one's for you.
So like this probably won't. I just gave these beers to the gentleman who runs the group, and I want to hear what he has to say
Yeah.
about them. And as long as he gives me the go, then I'll be planning the day to do.
brew day.
I'll be brewing 24 hours straight.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. And I might, so like my rim system that I have for my mash is separate controller than my boil kettle. So I can technically have a mash running
Yeah.
While you're
while
boiling.
the boil.
Oh,
But,
nice. Yeah.
I would have to just heat up that hot liquor tank while I'm like sparging.
Right.
Yeah.
So like once it goes, try and heat that up real quick to get
For
it
the
to
next
mash
mash.
temp.
Yeah.
Maybe not boil right away, but then get that in the mash, get that going, and then I'll start to boil. It'll be like some crazy scientist shit that I'm trying
Yeah.
to like literally this segment of time has to be this. I'll need like 3 people on hand. So like
Yeah.
if you're down to drink for 24 hours, like let's do it.
Never not.
I've never not done a drink. Time? What's that? Time's a contract.
Maybe we'll
I
do
don't
like
believe
a
it.
brewathon. Like we'll do a charity and we'll do a live stream.
Yeah, there we go.
Decaying with the boys and like
Hey man, don't tease me with a good time.
like like donate now and we're gonna do a shotgun.
oh, dude.
Yeah, you'll be like, who was the comedian that did all the old telethons?
Oh, Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
You'll be Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh. Hi. Yeah, I could definitely
You
do
set
that.
right up next to the kegerator. You'd be perfect.
I'm a carnival barker too, man.
Yes, you
And then I hear you're a great cleaner too.
I
Yes.
am. I
the
am.
only thing he does well. On a break.
That's the only thing
I got
can do.
some glass in there for you to sweep up.
Yeah, we.
I know.
We
God.
Gronk spiked the glass in there. And
No, we didn't Gronk spike. He Gronk spiked.
yeah.
He defeated you in trivia, and he was like, "This is what you get."
Celebration time.
Off camera, the celebrations are real.
They are. The Jojitorium is fierce. So we're gonna sip on this delicious brown ale, and we're gonna go into one of my favorite segments now. So when I have skilled brewers in front of me, as a guy who wants to learn more about how this all works, I like to get you guys into the brewer's advice corner. So I'll reach out to the depths of the internet, and I found some questions to pose to you guys. And I want to see your takes on them, and hopefully I learned something because I want to be better at this. I don't want to be just a cleaner. I want to
that's-
learn.
Keep trying.
I'm trying.
You're a great podcast host. Just hang your hat on.
Your voice is beautiful. I know
Thank
it's been
you.
brought up twice already, but as soon as I heard it, I was like, I got like this turd like slow voice that comes
Yeah.
out, like it's real slow, and it's like yours is just like beautiful.
You know what? I appreciate you. That's that's the nicest. You
And
know what?
I just want to say too, your face is good for radio too, not in a bad way, but
Mostly the mustache.
you got it too.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, I guess I reach out to the internet to find some great questions for you guys to pick through. So, number one here, and whoever wants to go first, of course, you just take the lead here. How do you connect your beer to your local community or your groups? And that could be charities or events.
Yeah, so for me, I've used the homebrew groups, Trash, Ways, Trube. Trube themselves do a charity event every year, Brewing Up a Cure in October. It's coming
Yeah.
back this year after a 2-year layoff because of COVID. So that's like my charity arm. And then just going out to breweries and, meeting people. Like you get invited to different events and different pours that you can do. And I'm always willing to take on new events, whatever events are going on, check my calendar, make sure I'm not double booking myself. But, just keep an open mind and just get out there and talk to folks. I think I've had as many events come from just knowing people front of house at breweries and behind the scenes at breweries as I have through the homebrew clubs. But if you're looking to get started, I don't know which state you're in, what city you're in, join a homebrew club. They usually will keep you
Also,
apprised of
country too. We've amassed more country listens as well. We're out there
Yeah.
in France now.
events.
I have a ton of, European, South American followers on Instagram, and they're always asking questions.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it is here. Like,
I don't know if I have too many South American, but yeah, Europe is like very inquisitive.
it's very, like, they're the unique ones to do this.
Yeah.
And, like, anybody who homebrews is, like, destined to open up a brewery, it seems like, too. Like, because they're the only person who cares about doing it.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome.
I need to get into more of those events. So,
Yeah.
like, I've never poured at an event or anything.
You'd love.
Dude, you'd have
And it's
so much
not
fun.
like I don't want to, or like I just have never like found them. I think I really started hitting my stride when COVID started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because I think
nothing
Taylor
happened.
hit me up early on saying like you and him wanted to do one together.
Yeah, we
And
want
I
to.
was like, sorry, man. There's nothing this.
Yeah.
Like, there's just nothing happening this year.
Yeah, like I want to get out and pour my beers for people, and I did do one charity thing. It wasn't like an event, but beginning of COVID, literally like right when COVID happened, a good friend of my wife's who she worked with, her little girl got diagnosed with cancer, and she was the same age as my daughter, who at the time was like 2. So I'm like, how can we raise money for them during COVID? We can't do like a spaghetti dinner or anything.
Yeah.
I said, screw it, I'm gonna brew beer. So I brewed at the time, I think I brewed like 20 gallons worth of Kolsch, and I canned them up, and we put them on Facebook and said, if you donate $25 or more, I'll donate a 4-pack to you.
Right.
I'll gift a 4-pack to you.
Nice.
Now, we sold all of them. I think
Yeah.
we had like 36 or 38 4-packs, and I even said the wrong term there. I said sold. So like we had to take it down on
Donated.
Facebook
Yeah.
because people were saying, "I'll buy a 4-pack." or,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take a 4-pack, and it's like we're not selling 4-packs. You know, we want you to donate to them, and then I'm going to brew beer and have the beer ready for you.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the wording was a big thing with homebrew, so it wasn't selling homebrew, but we ended up raising like I think over like $1,200 for them.
Oh, damn.
Which was great. I mean, there's people who donated and didn't want anything to do with the beer or just donated because it was a fundraiser. But we almost had to do a second run because we had so many people who wanted it again. And I just got scared whenever it was like, okay, even I was using the wrong terminology saying oh, we sold out. And it's like, no, you didn't sell anything.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to take a step back from that. But maybe like I got to link up with you, man, and get these events going.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
And
that'd be fun as hell to roll up to an event together.
Oh, yeah.
Have me, you, Taylor, and
a bunch of guys. Yeah, brewing up a cure,
everybody.
man. It's a charity event. It's mostly home brewers. There's like 4 to 6 pro brewers there.
Yeah.
That most of them came from these homebrew clubs.
Yeah.
But all home brewers are welcome. I'll give you the info.
Yeah.
As soon as signups are open.
It's funny you mention that because I bought my beer gun off of somebody who helps run that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know his name. It was so long ago.
But I mean, I have a jockey box and I pour draft
Yeah.
off them. But like bringing just cans and putting them in buckets of ice is
Yeah.
totally
A
acceptable. When you just do sample pours, like.
Jockey box is what I want to
Yeah.
eventually get for these events.
But I mean, canning is top notch. Like it's. I've seen people bring cans and bottles, and I've done the jockey box and I've done bottles, and like the cans are sometimes like just an easier setup.
It's
definitely an easier breakdown.
Yeah, I helped out with Arboretum because we did the cookie table event, and I helped out Arboretum Trail, and we were just going from cans, and it was super smooth, man. And it was also too like the artwork was out in front.
Oh, he has great artwork, man.
Yeah, so it was just like one of those things, but like it's. The jockey box has its advantages. The cans have the advantages. It's kind of like what you want to do.
Got a little more cost with the cans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can see where it's like you're not cleaning a jockey box at the end of the day,
Right.
breaking it down,
Bringing it down,
loading kegs in.
You got to lift all the ice and all the water. out of it.
Yep. And all the kegs you got to get back in,
Hopefully not. Hopefully you kick them.
Yeah, yeah,
always
absolutely.
my goal.
We always
That's
try
the
to get
goal.
them
You
kicked.
want to come home with nothing.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, not to make this question last forever, but his charity thing reminded it that we did one.
Yeah.
Bash Brew, 2020, same thing. I was personally affected by it, not myself, but somebody in my family was affected by breast cancer, serious breast cancer scare. Christmas right before COVID hit. So when October rolled around and there's no festivals, nothing we could do, it's like, let's do a charity run. And just everything we brewed and bottled from September and October, we, again, didn't sell, donated. And I think our little hook was it was
$10.
$5,
Yeah.
and you get a sticker. And with your sticker, you get a bottle of beer for every $5.
Yeah, we kept saying the word gift.
Yeah, it was a gift.
Gift.
So the beer was a gift.
Yes.
The sticker is what you were buying for your donation, and then
Dude,
so buying donation, like you could use interchangeably. We tried to use donation as much as we could.
it's hard because you can't even ask for a donation legally. You're not allowed to ask for anything.
Right, for the
really-
beer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's
It
why
was-
we
it was
were
very
like sticker.
Yeah.
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 And then
But-
also with the sticker, you get a gift of beer.
But, dude, it sounds like we have an October event because my wife is a breast cancer survivor.
Oh, let's freaking
Dude,
do it.
yeah.
We have a beer. We did so we did like our most popular beers, which is our pumpkin roll stout and our apple fritter that year.
Yeah.
We actually brewed the apple fritter twice and
Yep.
let it go into November a little bit just to keep raising money. But then we did a special beer that we just called Bash Cancer, and it was a blonde ale,
Yeah.
just a simple blonde ale that we
Tea.
dry hopped with hibiscus tea.
Yeah.
So we turned it pink.
Yeah, that's
for
beautiful.
the
I
event.
love a
Yeah.
colored beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, let's
gets
do
me.
it.
It was pretty. It had nice
we can
flavor.
rent a pavilion at a park.
Yeah.
Kind of have donations go,
Yeah,
and
man.
it's like,
Have a little
Yeah,
party.
we can take
there's-
donations online all month.
yep,
Like maybe do a little live
and we can
event
just
somewhere in
have
the middle.
beer sitting there, and if we want to get fancy and get somebody who makes some bomb ass like pulled pork or some barbecue,
Yeah.
dude, it's a breast cancer event.
Yeah.
It's set in stone. It's coming this up to October.
Yeah, so in full disclosure, my mom dropped the bomb on us Christmas of
Yeah.
19, and then, not to get too personal,
Yeah.
but then my dog died right before COVID
Yo.
hit, and like it was just
A lot.
early 2020. All of 2020 was a bad year for everybody.
feel you, man.
Yeah, it sucked. But mom's okay.
yeah, my wife's
and
6 years
we had-
cancer free.
Congrats.
So
That's
like,
awesome.
it's crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, I think we got a common
something
interest.
fun-
Let's
yeah,
do it.
let's do it,
I
man.
felt bad we couldn't do it this year because events came back right in
Yeah.
October, and
nah, we're doing it
we
this
got booked
year.
up. But let's do it this year.
I see a big event coming this way.
Yeah,
That
I would
sounds
love
good,
to make
man.
that.
For a
back.
great
I mean, that
cause,
was a
too.
good beer too.
Yeah, it was
I'd
my-
love to
and
brew that again.
My wife has, I mean, she has 30,000 followers on Instagram from breast cancer awareness.
Yeah.
So like, she has all the groups that actually donate to like women who need mammograms and like actual things that women need, and not
Yes.
just like cancer research that you don't actually know where
Where the
anything's
money's going,
Like,
yeah.
have you ever heard of like it's called like pink shaming or whatever? It's like the dollar store sells a pink ribbon, but nothing goes towards breast cancer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like,
It's
it's a
like-
big sham.
Yeah, it's
we,
crazy.
We did our research and we went with
Glimmer of hope.
Glimmer of Hope.
Yeah, that's the big one that my wife has had contact with the owner, and she's amazing.
Yeah,
She does
they were
so
great
They were
people.
so many great
Yeah.
things for these young women who are
Yeah.
diagnosed. Because my wife was diagnosed at like 26, and it's like we had
Yeah,
chances,
that's their main focus.
yeah, we
Yeah.
had chances of winning the Powerball at that odds of like having a girl diagnosed that young. It's crazy.
And,
But
and on the selfish side of things, they pushed us to the moon. Like every time we like would put anything out,
The
Glimmer of
shirt,
Hope would just push
they were
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can definitely get something with them going, because
Yeah.
that'd be cool as hell.
I
And
really
they
like
were they
that.
were just like, it was a hard decision because I was looking at a bunch of local ones. Of course, I wasn't going to the pink chain. Like I'll
Yeah.
call them out. Susan G. Cumming. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
fuck
absolutely,
no,
yeah.
100%.
So I was like, let's do something local that's going all towards research. And I researched into them, and they basically picked and chose who really need the money to advance, especially in younger breast cancer patients. Like,
They have great facilities
Yeah.
too. I think it's out in Wexford that
Yeah.
they have like massage therapy, and they offer all this stuff that like you may not think it helps, but like these women's bodies are aching.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like
Beat
you
up.
couldn't hug my wife
Yeah.
with the medicine she was on because it was like her whole body was bruised. Like all this stuff helps. Reiki therapy. Dude,
Yep.
we had a Reiki master come to our house. We made friends with him. Like we'd buy him dinner and give him a gift card, and he'd come over and she could breathe. Like
Yeah.
it was like amazing. It's a good foundation. So
let's do it. We'll do a little brewing up a cure and do some breast
That sounds
cancer
good,
yeah,
man.
dude.
fundraiser in October. We got October booked.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me, man.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the later side of the advice corner, of course, and thank goodness everyone's safe. You know, that's the major thing here, and maybe we can use our beer for something good.
Hey,
you know?
that's even better.
Yeah. So how do you guys come up with the names of the beers? Because like you're talking about Squid Games, and then Adam and I, we get drunk and like throw ideas back and forth at each other. So like, what's the creative process look like for Dem Bones when you're looking for a name?
It comes from anything related to the beer. So
Okay.
like I have a Belgian wit beer that I put out, and my dad loves it. So it's Pappy's Belgian wit beer.
That's
you know,
cool.
my wife and I just watched Squid Games, binge watched it. So those two were Squid Games. I'm like, that'd be so dope.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to think Canine Kolsch. I mean, my dogs were always in the brew. It's what happens on, and that kind of fits the beer too.
Nice.
But it's just coming up with names that like mean something and relate to kind of the beer.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, similar vein for me. We have a beer named after every one of our pets, and then we dip into pop culture for some references. If it's for a cause, we do that. But I kind of venture down like different avenues for different series of beers. Like,
Yeah.
I have like a couple I name after horror movies, a couple after music references, just stuff I like because it's just fun to get creative with it.
That,
But yeah,
that's
then
where
your
your creative
your-
mind
yeah.
comes.
It's
So it's like things I like and like personal
Yeah.
things.
The
to me.
can art and the name is where it's just like, man, put whatever you think
They're
is
still
cool or fun or funny. Like,
I think the last bastion of expression as a brewer to put
there's
your
still
twist
one
on
that
it.
I'm researching. That
Yeah.
I swear we're gonna do it at some point this summer if there's a festival lull, because I just need to try it.
Yeah.
And I want to do a pre-prohibition ale
Nice.
and just call it the Greatest Generation for like our grandparents.
That's cool.
You know.
Yeah.
Everybody that was that
Yeah.
in the Greatest Generation, basically the pre-boomers.
Pre-boomers.
Yeah.
And the
what
boomers
they-
came in and fucked it off.
see what they were drinking with their lack of
Yeah.
refrigeration and
The resourcefulness.
try to recreate it and see what
Yeah.
it tastes like.
So we are heading towards, unfortunately, our time is coming to an end here. So I have to ask you, John, Dem Bones, what's on tap at your place and how can people get a hold of your beer?
so at home we have the 3 beers that we're drinking right now, and that's all on tap. So we have the Squid Games, the Citra, the Squid Games Galaxy, and then the brown ale. So that right there is all that we have. If you want to try it, reach out to me on Instagram at Dem Bones Brewing. I'd be more than happy to either can some beers up for you or let you take home a growler. So hit me up, and I expect an honest review from it.
Oh, awesome. Adam, what's on tap, man?
So we got the Irish Red Ale on right now. That's pouring in draft. I can also bottle some up or just come over and have a sample off a draft anytime you want. Just hit me up on Instagram, much like Dem Bones. And then we also have bottles of Crushed by the Fist of God, our smoked Russian Imperial Stout.
Cool.
So it's a hoppy stout.
Nice.
Still
I had that
pouring.
last year.
Still bottled up.
We put that in we had it in the brewery. We all sampled that.
Oh yeah, I dropped a bunch off. But yeah, that's what's going on, and we'll probably have a new hazy coming out right around the time you're hearing this. We'll
Yeah.
probably be developing it, so
Cool.
check it out.
Nice.
And also, too, we have events coming up in May and June. We're going to be at the Best Brunch Ever, and we're also going to be at Brews and Bruises. So there's tickets still available, I think, for both events. Search those out. And if you want what's going on with Adam down here in the Brew Lab, it's at @bash_brew on all social media. That's Facebook and Instagram. He's also on Untapped. Search out Dem Bones on Instagram and Facebook, and he has dembonesbrewing.com.
That's it.
And make sure you grab a Beer Dad shirt like I'm going to once we're done here. And of course, if you want us going with the boys down here in the Jojitorium, we are at DWTB on all social media. It's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Send in your questions, comments, and whatevs to DWTB@gmail.com. Don't forget, we drop new audio on Sundays, new videos on Mondays, and listener polls on Tuesdays, if I remember. Sorry. So, from wherever you guys are listening to us to where we are in the comforts of the Jojitorium, until next time, cheers.
Dennis Guy's a champion.